All right, Miles, let's talk Nebraska football here for a little bit. Obviously, new head coach Matt Rhule has hit the ground running and made a lot of really impressive moves, both in the transfer portal and in the recruiting game. It looks like Nebraska is heading back on the right foot, but we've got some very interesting news and a very exciting report coming out of Nebraska that shows how much Matt Rhule is really doing and really focused to turning this program around.
Yeah, Nick. And of course, Nebraska has signed some big time players in the transfer portal. They've gotten some really big recruits, and that's all thanks to Matt Rhule. But Nick, we always hear about the big recruits. Everybody knows their name. Everybody has heard about what they're going to bring to this program. But there's some guys that maybe kind of like slipped under the radar that have gone unnoticed, and they are going to bring a huge impact to this program as well. That's why we want Nebraska fans in the comments below. Let us know your favorite under the radar type of impact player you think coming to Nebraska. A guy that you don't think is getting enough attention, that's kind of snuck out of the public eye. Let us know in the comments below who you think that is. But Nick, what do you have on Nebraska?
Yeah, so Matt Rhule coming to Nebraska, I think we talked about it at the time. It's reminding me a lot of Nick Saban coming to Alabama. And I know a few people are like, whoa, that's a big comparison. But here's why. When Saban went to Tuscaloosa, when he went to Alabama, the very first thing he did, he focused his recruiting efforts. He didn't focus on X's and O's and watching films. He focused on building a recruiting staff and going out there and putting in the time and effort to recruit and win back the state of Alabama, parts of Louisiana, the Mobile, North Florida area. Get back to winning those areas in the recruiting game that Alabama lost when they were back in their glory days. They'd fallen off as an institution. Nick Saban says, I got to go in there. I got to win those areas back. That's exactly the same playbook that Matt Rhule is following, going after winning the state of Nebraska back, Mize, and he's doing one heck of a job doing it. This is from a report over at The Athletic detailing a lot of the effort and energy that Rhule has put into this program. I'll read you a little bit here, Mize. Rhule has yet to coach a single practice, but he and his staff have gained more ground and won more hearts in the Huskers' home territory than any staff in Nebraska since Tom Osborne, now, it's obviously high praise, retired in 1997. It's largely happened through small gestures like a day trip to Ainsworth to see product Carter Nelson that turned into a photo op with the boys and girls teams. Rhule said he found immediately after his November 20th introduction as coach that the level of enthusiasm for the Huskers and desire among people in the state to find a connection to the program is, quote, just different than at most other schools. Miles, we've seen a lot of comment from Nebraska fans. It does seem like the connection between Huskers fans, Huskers alumni, and the program is just something different. It's very unique. It's very special. And the fact that Matt Rhule is hitting the ground running, doing everything he can to win back the recruiting base in that area in Nebraska and the surrounding states, I think is a great sign to rebuild those connections and also keep those recruiting pipelines strong. Give me your thoughts on everything Rhule's doing with Nebraska and everything with the Huskers right now.
Yeah, I think Rhule is doing an excellent job. I really like a lot of things he's doing, especially kind of the stuff you said he's doing, the things that you don't think about, the things that build the long-lasting relationships that give you those pipelines to the future. And one notably, Nick, is over at Ralston High School, where Rhule and Foley, one of the head recruiting guys, I think he's a special team coach over in Nebraska, they made a stop to Ralston High School. Who Tyler Zahn, a former Nebraska walk-on defensive lineman, is the football coach over there. And he said a couple of things about Nebraska and the environment they have over there that I really, really like. First, Zahn said that when he thinks Nebraska and what they have over there now, he gets a down-home feel from them. And I really like that because to me, it means like you go there and you feel like you're at home. You feel like it's your family there. And that's got to be really important for these young kids coming around, to feel like included over in an environment like that. And the second thing that he said, Nick, that really stuck out to me is that they don't have a single, what you would call a blue chip recruit over at Ralston High School, but they still came over to do the same song and dance. They toured the weight rooms. They went through the school. They did all the things, handed out Nebraska stickers and magnets to everybody. They did everything because it's not about who is there now. It's about who's going to be there in the future. And if they are willing to go over there and do all of that now, it shows the coaches, the staff, and the school in general that they're going to take care of the kids in the future. So when they do have that blue chip talent, that they're going to be like, hey, you should go to Nebraska. That's a really great program. They're doing things right over there. And I really like that. And that's really what has impressed me so far about Rhule and his staff.
Yeah, it just tells you it's all about effort sometimes, and putting that extra effort, that energy, that grind, and everything from Nebraska, led by Rhule from this recruiting game, seems to be that they're putting in just more work than anybody else. So according to the report, this I think something that blew me away, Mize, is that Foley, when he's recruiting, aims to hit at least 8 high schools a day.
Wow.
if he's in what he calls his hunter-gatherer mode, which means he's not going after a single recruit or anything like that, he's just going school to school to school, he aims to hit 12 schools a day and at least 3 by 8:15 in the morning. That is putting in the time, that's putting in the grind, and that's how you get big-time recruits. And there have been already some good early returns for the Nebraska. According to the report, the Huskers signed 6 of the top 10 prospects in the class of 2023 from Nebraska. A year ago, the top 4 Nebraska high school players, all 4-star prospects, left the state. That's just in 1 year, Mize. In 1 year, they went from all the top prospects leaving Nebraska, playing somewhere else, to this year winning 6 of the top 10. That's what bringing in quality recruiting does. That's what bringing in quality message does. And that's what putting in the work does. And it looks like Rhule and his staff are putting in the work, and it should lead to some very exciting results, both this coming fall and for many years to come in Nebraska.